Hey guys, welcome to a Lunchtime review. Today I'll try this Easton's ham and cheese stuffed sandwich. It looks like a Hot Pocket. Ham and cheddar cheese sauce and a crispy crust. We bought this at Save-A-Lot. Easton's is a Save-A-Lot brand. You get 2 in the package. Bought them at Save-A-Lot for $1.99, so $1 a piece. That's pretty cheap. 9 ounces or 254 grams. $1 each per sandwich is what I meant. Let's see. Like I said, it's a Save-A-Lot brand. One sandwich is 340 calories. If you eat both of them at 660, where that extra 20 calories went, I don't know. But here's the information if you want. So how do you make these? It says keep them frozen, so you do not thaw them. Just want you to know that. So so this is not quite like a Hot Pocket because you don't, you don't put in a crisping sleeve or anything. That's interesting. So we're gonna open one end of the wrap, place frozen sandwich in wrap into microwave. So leave it in the plastic bag, I guess. Microwave on high for 1 minute, 45 seconds to 2 minutes. Note microwaves vary, so your time might have to be adjusted. Let stand for 2 minutes to make sure it's cooked thoroughly. You want to make sure it's hot enough. And you can also do it in the oven if you want to. Of course, we don't do no stinking ovens on here, but there it is if you want. So leave it in the wrapper, open one end, minute 45. I'll probably do like 150 just to, just kind of get it in the middle somewhere. Yeah. And you want to make sure you get your thermometer out since you have one of those at work and make sure it's heated up enough. That's what you want to do. Nobody does that. It's a crisping bag instead of a crisping sleeve. So it says open one end. So let me see how hard it is to open it. It does not have directions on the bag anywhere, so you'll have to have the box or write them down somewhere. Yeah, you can see the bag. It's got that little, like a metallic, like covering, a gray covering on it. So I'm gonna get this in the microwave for 150 and I'll be back. I'll probably put it on a paper plate just in case it leaks anywhere. So anyway, I'll be right back. Hey, so here it is out of the microwave. I let it sit for a minute just to let it finish off. Leaky. Cheese is leaking out. Let me see if I can open this without making a teetotal mess and burning myself. That's what I'm trying to avoid. More burning myself than the mess. I don't care about the mess. I'd really rather not burn my fingers. Okay, so there it is. You can see a lot of that cheese leaked out, and it looks like a really fake cheese. That is a color orange that most or yellowish color that most cheese isn't. It's really stuck on this like package, the wrapper. There we go. I'm gonna leave it on the wrapper just because I think it'll stick to this paper plate really bad. Ow. Trying to cut it to where we can see what the ham and cheese looks like. There we go. I'm not seeing much ham in there. Oh, there's little chunks. They're like little, right here, you can see this little square of ham in there. That kind of looks gross. Yeah. So I'm going to cut this into smaller pieces. The cheese is really, really like watery almost. So it's not like, I hate to compare them, but you have to. You have to compare this to a Hot Pocket because that's what it looks like. The Hot Pocket cheese is thicker. This is a really runny cheese, like watery. So, it's gonna be harder to cut it in pieces. But what I usually do is I cut it into smaller pieces. You can see all the cheese like literally squirting out like water. And then I cut them up like this so I can pick up a piece and try it on camera because it's a lot easier. I wouldn't do this normally, but it makes it easier to, like I said, eat on camera. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna let it sit for just a minute. Maybe this cheese will thicken up a little bit if I let it sit for a minute, but I'll be right back. All right, so I'll let it sit for just another minute, really, not very long at all. I got a fork just in case I need it, but I'm gonna eat an end piece. Hot. The cheese is like eating molten napalm. It's very, very hot. The texture of the bread, the outside, what do they call it, crust? Yeah, the crust is decent. It's not hard because usually the ends of these, even like I said, gonna compare it to Hot Pocket. The ends of like Hot Pockets, the very fold over side, is usually really hard and crispy. These aren't. They're very they're firmer than the rest of it, but it's still pretty soft. You can eat it with no problem. The flavor of the bread tastes like bread. So if you were to wrap it up in something, up in a roll and like bake the roll. It's got a nice crisp outside. It's got a good bread flavor. The ham has a really nice ham flavor. It's not like a salty like country ham, but it's more like a smoky city ham, if that makes any sense. The cheese really doesn't have much flavor that I can tell. I really got more of the texture of the cheese than anything, and it's very hot, and it was kind of, I don't know, it really didn't have much flavor. I think a lot of the filling had come out of that one. So it was a lot more of the crust. The crust is actually really good. It has a good flavor to it. My only problem with it is the cheese is really, really watery. Now it has thickened up. I'm just going to use my fork. It has thickened up some to where if you let it sit for a minute, it's going to thicken up to where it's not runny. So that's why I'd recommend. I would cut these in half to let some of the steam out, or break them in half, or use your fork to poke some holes in it or whatever. Let some of the steam out, let it cool off a little bit. Don't try to eat it right off the package because it's going to be very, very, very hot. And also the cheese is very liquidy, so you want to like let it firm up a little bit. But it's much better now that it's cooled off a little bit. I got a bite with a lot of cheese in it that time. Matter of fact, I tasted more cheese than I did ham in that one. So, not a bad flavor of cheese. It's definitely not like American cheese or cheddar cheese or you know, a good cold beer or anything. But it's you can tell it's a processed cheese. But it doesn't have a bad flavor. It's kind of Velveeta-like kind of flavor, which is again not too bad. Very artificial kind of flavor, but it's not bad flavor. Overall, you're talking about $1 a sandwich, $1.99 for 2 sandwiches. I don't think that's bad. If you got a Save a Lot in your ear and you like these and you already like Hot Pockets, try this out. I think you'd be, you might be surprised at how decent it is. It's not like the best thing, but I prefer these over Hot Pockets. I don't know. I like the texture of these better as far as the crust goes, because Hot Pockets do get really hard. But I like the flavor probably of the Hot Pockets better because I think the cheese is more of a natural flavor. But I do like the texture, the flavor of the ham, I like the flavor of the crust. So I'm going to give these probably a little above average. I'm going to give them a 3.5. Not quite to a 4. I don't think the flavors are quite good enough for a 4. Definitely nowhere near a 5. But I'll give them a 3.5, just a little bit above average. I think they're good. They're worth trying out if you have a Save a Lot, and they're super cheap. So even if you don't like them, you throw it away and not buy them again. So it's pretty cheap. You can pitch it in the garbage. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.